Good morning. My name is Nora Oakes. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please settle in now for our service, The Grinch Who Ruined UU Asheville, put on by YRUU 11th and 12th graders, with apologies to Dr. Seuss. Every UU down in UUville liked community a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Asheville, did not. The Grinch hated community. To him, it was treason. You might wonder why. Now we'll give you a reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. But we think that the most likely reason of all may be that our circle was 2 sizes too small. When the Grinch was a child, you know what UUs did? Down on the playground, he was bullied, excluded. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on March 6th, Celebration Sunday, hating UUs. Staring down from his perch with a sour, Grinchy frown at the sound of their voices, sung in a round.
And they're so dang happy.
He snarled with a sneer.
Week after week they all gather here. And they sing, and they sing, and they sing, sing, sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of this UU sing, sing, the more the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing.
Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must find some way to keep them from coming. Why, for 17 years now, I've put up with it now. I must stop the UUs from communing. But how?
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in your heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what I'll do.
The Grinch coughed and then sneezed.
I know just what I'll do. I'll make a bad virus. I'll unleash disease. And the thing, I'll call it Novid. First, it'll tickle their throat, and when it gets worse, there'll be no antidote.
He said, as the UUs stood in circles and rows.
The singing and the hand-holding must be the first to go.
Then into the sanctuary, a malicious director. He slunk all around and released the germ vector. And then, before leaving, his eyes twinkling with malice, he pranced to the front and extinguished the chalice.
Pooh-pooh to UUs.
He was Grinchly humming.
Their building is empty, not one of them's coming. They'll wake up on Sundays, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the UUs in Asheville will all cry boo-hoo. Now that is a noise I simply must hear.
He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound, but it wasn't of suffering, though there was, on occasion, a short pause due to buffering. For though the UUs were confused for a time, UUs are resourceful. They all went online.
We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. Oh, be our compass. I'll be your lighthouse. Speak your words with triumph, and I will watch your mouth. I'll march with you, my sister, to your place of fearing. We'll dive into those waters, swim into the clearing. We'll always keep our heads up. We'll always sing along. We'll walk the path of kindness, know where we belong. I'll march with you, my brother, to the mountain top. We'll hold back the dynamite, make the rumble stop, make the rumble stop. Oh, be a pillar. I'll be your mockingbird. We'll sing the rock of ages. Yes, we will be heard. Let's form a great salvation through harmony and sound. We'll know the shape of progress, like nature's always round, like nature's always round. We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. We are moving in wider circles. We are opening our circle. We are moving in wider circles.
They Googled and YouTubed and zoomed. And when the Grinch learned this, he scowled and he fumed. This Novid idea, in all of its brilliance, was really no match for UU resilience. And the Grinch with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so?
After all of his mean, Grinchy work, he'd only found himself feeling more petty and lonely. Community doesn't just come from a place. It lives in our hearts and even cyberspace. But then Sydney Lou of the YRUUs saw the excluded Grinch. What should she do? He looked different to her, kind of green, kind of hairy. Was that difference enough to label him scary? Her circle seemed safe. Her friends seemed just right. And then she was hit with a novel insight.
I wonder if he's feeling excluded.
She examined her values, and then she concluded that Grinches have feelings, from anger to mirth, and Grinches have dignity and inherent worth. She thought maybe part of the problem wasn't Grinchy at all. Maybe our circle was 2 sizes too small. She walked up to the Grinch, knowing her task, took a deep breath, and decided to ask.
Mr. Grinch, please, would you like to come play? Would you please come join our circle today?
They walked side by side, building momentum. The Grinch listened to Sydney give morning welcome.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Asheville. I'm Sydney Oversmith, and for today only, Sydney Lou, from the YRUU class. YRUU stands for Young Religious Unitarian Universalists, representing the 11th and 12th graders, and we've been leading this service today. If you are new with us, we are delighted that you chose to join us today, and please know that whoever you are, whatever your history or heritage, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We hope that you will join us after the service where you can learn a bit more about what goes on here and we can get a chance to meet you.
And then the true meaning of community came through, and the Grinch thought he might try YRUU. And now that his heart didn't feel quite so tight, the Grinch realized he wanted more light. And so grows our circle, no longer the same, for he himself, the Grinch, relit our chalice flame.
Now it is time for acknowledging our joys and sorrows with a candle lighting ritual. If you are in the sanctuary, please feel free to come forward to light a candle. If you're online, please write in the chat box any joys or sorrows that you would like to share with the congregation. one last candle in honor of the joys and sorrows that go unspoken among us, and to recognize those in our community who are unable to be with us. We hold your thoughts and hopes with us in this hearth at the center of our community. If you have shared a joy, know that this community rejoices you. If you have shared a sorrow, know that you are held in love and care by this community.
The welcomed-in Grinch has begun to make friends. On Sundays, the YRUU class he attends. He's cleaned Sandberg Hall to make it look pretty. Taking class as an owl, even joined a committee. And so with this moral, our story is ending. It's important to keep our circles extending. So let's, in community, center voices one in, a song to all Grinches. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Open, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Don't be, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Good morning. My name is Nick Ferris. Our announcements ran as slides earlier this morning. If you missed those, just refer to Thursday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. The work of this congregation cannot happen without your generosity. During this time of uncertainty and hybrid worship, this congregation continues to nurture our spirits and find ways to keep us connected. Donations can be made online, via text, or via snail mail. Our community plate recipient this month is the Mel Hetland Scholarship. This morning's offering will now be collected.
Well, this is what it looked like right before you fall. Stumbling around, you've been guessing your direction, except you can see it all. Now I have a name, I have a name. No. Who am I to blame? Who am I to blame? No. I cannot be changed, I cannot be changed, no. Trust me, I've tried. I'd stand up right at the start of the line, drawing circles. Well, I drink my whiskey, you sip your wine. We're through a while sitting watching the world falling down its decline. can keep you safe, I can keep you safe. Do not be afraid, do not be afraid. You're feeling sorry, I'm feeling fine. Don't you put any more stress on yourself, it's one day at a time. Getting pretty late, getting pretty late. Yeah, and I found it goes around like the ends I keep the time, drawing circles.
For the gifts of your time, talent, presence, and financial support, we are grateful. Thank you. My name is Meg Currens. I hope that our service today has been thought-provoking, and I invite you to take a few moments to reflect. Who feels welcome here? Who might not feel as welcome in UU Asheville? What does it mean when we other someone as a Grinch? Whom can we as a congregation open our circle to? Please join me in a moment of silence and meditation to reflect on these questions. Now please rise for our closing song, Longtime Son.